The government remains committed to ensuring that all citizens are granted equal access to education at every level. So says Education Minister Anthony Garcia, who was part of a delegation touring early childhood care and education centres in Trinidad ahead of the construction of 5 such centres in Tobago. Minister Garcia says issues plaguing the tertiary education system has taken centre stage, but we must not neglect the ECCE Centres, which are at the foundation of our education system. Dionne Baptiste has more.
Representatives from the Ministry of Education toured early childhood care and education centres in Trinidad with a delegation from Tobago led by THA Chief Secretary Kelvin Charles. While at the Maloney Garden Centre, Minister Garcia said we are privileged to have the opportunity to provide our students with the necessary skill set that would better prepare them for school at the primary level.
They will have an opportunity of socialization, and that is important for students at that age, so that they can learn how to get along with each other. Also, we plan to introduce, or we have been introducing, things like pre-mathematics, pre-science, pre-English, and I stress pre, because when they go to the primary school, there is where they're going to get a real foundation.
THA Chief Secretary Kelvin Charles welcomed the opportunity to tour the ECCE Centres, which he believes will aid the team tasked with developing the designs for the centres to be constructed in Tobago.
Well, we are pretty impressed with the design and the layout, and of course there are some issues that we would probably treat with a little differently, for example, the drainage and so on. But by and large, we are comfortable with what we have seen.
Chief Secretary Charles revealed that the construction of these centres hinges on an IADB loan, the terms of which are still being negotiated. He was unable to give an estimate of the cost, but said that construction sites have already been selected.
There will be 5 centres, one in Roxborough, one in Belgarden, one at Bonaccord, one at Blackrock, and one at Plymouth. The lands have already been acquired because in respect of the Tobago House of Assembly, all state lands are vested in the Tobago House of Assembly.
Reps from the Ministry of Education and the THA toured ECCE centres in St. Anne's, Mount Hope, Maloney and Malabar on Friday. Dionne Baptiste, ECCE News.
Minister in the Ministry of Education, Lovell Francis, has responded to concerns about a social studies textbook meant for infants. The book, Social Studies Made Simple, which was published by a local author, did not include details on Emancipation Day or Indian arrival, but had information on Halloween and World Water Day. The discussion was sparked by a social media post by a parent earlier this week. Minister Francis said the omission is not worth exciting ourselves over.
Getting overheated or overexcited about something that I am not aware of as yet. We have teachers in school who teach. A textbook is a textbook. Education is not directly hinged simply on use of textbooks. We have paid and qualified professionals in schools who teach, and oftentimes they make up for what might be the shortcomings or the errors in textbooks. So it's not something that we should have a societal nervous breakdown about.
Minister Francis was speaking to the media during a Ministry of Education and a THA tour of the Maloney ECCE Centre on Friday.